Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forces of Comic News, episode 257. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside the returning champion, Mike.
I am definitely returning. It's yet to be established if I'm a champion of anything. Well, I am wearing a T-shirt today that says Ahoy Comics, so maybe I could be a champion for them.
I wear Marvel.
There you go. We have a very special guest on this week, returning special guest. I say returning, but I think it's been like a couple years now.
It's been a minute. Yeah, because it's been a couple volumes. So
Tom Payer is coming back, editor-in-chief at Ahoy Comics. So stick around for some of that.
Who's?
Oh man, why is my Siri's listening to me right now?
Damn it! So by the way, Tom Payer, also our new best friend.
Yes. Yep. Confirmed on Twitter.
I gotta pay more for Ahoy books, but I think it's worth it.
See, I was gonna chime in there and be like, even though we get our humble brag, we get our review copies from Ahoy, I still purchase the series that I'm reading. So it's always support your friends as much as you can. I don't want to be paying more for my comics, but it is what it is, I was in California, this last week, and I checked out a comic shop. I can't even think of the name of it. I'll have to look at my tweet about it. So I was in this comic shop, and I hear this gentleman speaking to some people about a book that he wrote, and the description of the book was Kung Fu. Was it Kung Fu in Space, I believe?
Yeah, that's what I've heard about the book.
Yeah, and so I'm talking about some comics to people in the shop, and I just happened to go to this one in California because it looked pretty promising. It looked like a nice it's called Comic Book Hideout, and a nice shop, and it's really clean, friendly people. They have all the new books out front, which is what you want to see. And this happened to be a book that I backed on Kickstarter, and because it sounded very familiar, and I was like, okay, well, I've definitely heard of this before, and so I had to politely interrupt the conversation, and I go, hey, I've heard of this book. Is this on Kickstarter? And he goes, yeah, it is. And it happened to be Keith Foster, the writer, who also is running Invader Comics right now too. So I checked the Kickstarter out. I think I don't know if it's Invader Comics, and I can't think of the name of the comic right now, but if you just type in Keith Foster on Kickstarter, it'll pop up. But it was just so funny he happened to be there on the West Coast the same time I was.
Yeah.
Insane. I don't know how these things happen, but
so two quick things I wanted to do at the top. One, we had this last week now was the JLA Avengers trade. I know that was a clusterfuck, but thank you to the Hero Initiative for trying. If you were planning on buying it and didn't get a copy, might I suggest just giving that money to the Hero Initiative because they do good stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
We kind of knew that was coming. People were selling it for $500 on eBay, and
I've told the story and so much recently, but I got myself all hyped for it, and then about the week before, I started to see shops putting it up for like $300 for pre-order, and that immediately made me angry. I'm giving you the short version. It immediately made me angry, and then when I saw afterwards, mind you, there were some lovely shops that were auctioning it and giving the money to Hero Initiative, so kudos to the few that did that.
Yep.
But yeah, I got really mad at just scalpers, basically, and they were all shops too. That's what really bugged me about it. But it is what it is. But yeah, it's a good place to send your money if you were planning on buying it and couldn't, and it goes to a good place, and you could probably get a tax write-off for it.
I did get to hold. I got to hold one of my hands and flip through it, and that was about as far as I got.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of especially with all it represents. It really is a little for shame to be doing that, especially you get pissed at people for buying it and then reselling it for that, but especially if you're a comic shop and you know that money's not going to Hero Initiative.
Yeah, what bugged me was that it was showing up before it was released. So I'm like, it's comic shops.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's just this book will never be published again. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's never going to happen again. If it
Yep.
does, it's a miracle. It's a miracle we got it this time. So
Yep.
it really bugged me. Two, a friend of the show, Travis Gibb, has a Kickstarter up, Cthulhu Invades Wonderland. So everybody check that out.
It's already over 50% funded.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So lots of cool covers. Check it out. Chris did a great job without me last week. He hosted a whole panel of people for Cthulhu is Hard to Spell Volume 3. So a little round of applause for Chris on that one, organizing and orchestrating all of that. It's not easy to just sit down with 6 people and do that thing. So nice.
As far as the organizing, I'll give that all to Russ and his team. They actually set it up, and I said, cool, that sounds fun. And we did it.
But Chris does a little bit of work here, and I also that will tell you that I listen to the podcast that I'm not speaking on, so I'm not just there for my own voice.
Nice. How'd I do?
You did good.
Good. Thanks.
Yeah, I was very impressed. It's almost like we've done this for a couple hundred episodes.
Yeah. Got to take some shots at mutual friends. Looking to you propose.
Yep. It's okay. I think he'll be sobbing with his Marvel money and get over it.
It's that scene from Zombieland where he's just wiping his tears.
Woody Harrelson's wiping his tears with the cash. I will say this just before you can jump in the news. I've been coursed into watching the Hunger Games movies, and I'm on Mockingjay Part 1, like halfway through. I've never watched them before, and this isn't a joke. I don't know why I never got into them. They're good. I'm not a huge Jennifer Lawrence fan, but I'm a huge Woody Harrelson fan, and I'm a huge Jeffrey Wright fan.
Yep.
Also, Philip Seymour Hoffman, R.I.P., Rochester native. The cast is amazing. It's good action. A little jarring to watch today because there's some like parallels to what's going on in Ukraine right now, so it's a little too real to watch at times.
There's some COVID parallels in there too that are a little eerie.
Yeah. They talk about like there's no children in the district because they all died to like a pandemic, and I'm like, man, this is not. I thought this would be like escape from reality, but it's kind of scary how things line up.
I saw the first movie and I just didn't care for it.
Yeah, so the first one's the worst in my opinion. They get really it becomes a war movie like halfway through the second one, so I recommend sticking with it.
Maybe I'll jump back in.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of The Boys Diabolical, by the way?
No, I forgot it was out.
So did I until yesterday.
Yeah,
and
man.
I was so busy. So we haven't talked about the show. It's because we forgot it exists.
Yep. I watched Nightmare Alley by Guillermo del Toro. Just a heads up, if you're looking for a horror movie, it's not a horror movie. It's completely different than what the trailer shows you.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad thing. Willem Dafoe steals the show as usual. It's more of like a head thriller. Yeah, and that's all I can really say without like saying too much. It's kind of like Bradley Cooper finds a circus. He's down and out. He joins the circus, learns some tricks to do some like mind reading thing on his own. Goes off to the city, makes big money, and then obviously he gets a little too greedy and big for his britches, so gets messed up with the wrong type of people. But it's really, I mean, Guillermo del Toro's. He paints this weird and evil world, so it's more of like a headspace thriller than anything. It's very interesting though. I do recommend it. And so with that, Boys Diabolical, maybe I'll check out this week.
That's my plan.
The Boys season 3 trailer we haven't talked about yet. Chris and I were just going through it. We have Captain America in this season. So that's, I'm pretty sure that's
Soldier Boy.
Yeah, Soldier Boy with the mask on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And we get a glimpse of him at the end. Jensen Ackles, we see him with like the beard. He looks like Chris, actually, kind of. So Chris, you too could be Captain America, dude.
I'm the real Captain America.
The real Captain America. There's, I believe we see. I cannot remember the girl who's in The Boys. I can't remember her name. But she's killing
Starlight.
No, she's in The Boys.
Oh, yeah, I can remember her name either.
Yeah, she's like killing someone with a dildo. So it's on par for normal boy shit going on. I think the big thing they're trying to drive home is that they keep showing Butcher with powers. So we're gonna get some version of the Miracle Pill, Powers Pill,
Yeah.
where they'll be able to fight back and go toe to toe. I'm guessing like they're breaking, is it Stewie's arm and Huey? They're breaking Huey's arm, and I'm guessing that he's going to take a pill and like regenerate instantly or something like that. I mean, we don't need to talk about how much we love the show. We're excited for this season.
Yeah.
Right.
And you hit the big takeaway. They're probably bringing the pills in.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to get powers. It's going to get nuts. I'm so excited for this.
And I agree, like first 2 seasons you probably didn't need to do that, but now gloves are off. Let's see the good guys start winning fights now.
Yeah.
That's the one thing we're missing from the comic is like they hardly ever lose a fight. I mean, they're in shitty situations. Like we've seen them up against the ropes a lot in the first couple seasons. But now we want to see them like go toe to toe.
Yeah, they were more of a lean, like mean fighting machine.
Yeah.
Like in the comics. Like they didn't they may have like stumbled along the way, but they always succeeded in their mission. So
like the heroes were afraid of them. Miss Marvel trailer. This was a nice little treat. I know nothing about this character. I watched the trailer. I think it looks fun and enjoyable. I'm definitely checking it out. I don't know what you thought.
So, as we've talked about in nauseating, I like fell in love with this character recently, and there's similarities, there's differences, and then there's differences that are similarities. So, her like being in love with Captain Marvel is one for one. I mean, I think she was Miss Marvel at the time that Kamala falls in love with her, but still, like, same character, Carol, and all that.
Yep.
I like that she's like a fangirl because that's who she's supposed to be.
Right.
The big difference is she's not an Inhuman, it looks like. It looks like she gets the power from the bracelet, which, excuse my ignorance here, but apparently that bracelet is like something important to Muslim culture.
Okay.
And that's why it's there. Because G. Willow Wilson, I could be messing up that name, is the writer, and she's also Muslim. And I heard her talking about that once, that like that's a part of their like stuff.
Okay.
And apparently that's where the power comes from, it looks like. So she herself doesn't actually embiggen and like get like big fists or anything. Like a force field comes out and does it. So a little different, but it works. It does the same thing.
She's Green Lantern with a bracelet instead of a ring.
I'm more interested in the character getting right, and from initial stuff coming out, it seemed like they weren't happy with her. But maybe it turned around. I don't know. She seems like she's got the character down. Yeah. So I'll watch this. This looks fun.
I think tone wise, it reminded me of like Scott Pilgrim or something like that. I think it was a lot of fun. I think the line I already resonated with her, like where the her guidance counselor or whatever is talking to her. She's like, "Do I need to figure out what I'm doing with my life like before lunch?" Like she's like zoning out, not listening to him because she hasn't eaten lunch. I'm like, yes, same. That's
you'll figure it out around 30.
Yeah, right. The Walking Dead just keeps on going. All right, next piece of news. No, this week AMC announced another spin-off series for the hit zombie show called Isle of the Dead. It's a series that's following the unlikely team of Maggie and Negan as they traverse the island of Manhattan. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan's coming back?
Apparently.
This is pretty interesting.
So the last season was recently. Completely forgot about it.
Oh, wow.
But so I was telling you off air, I got a new phone last week.
Right.
And apparently with my new phone came with a free year of AMC Plus. So
nice.
I have AMC Plus now. Maybe I'll try to jump back into Walking Dead because the other spinoff, which is Daryl and what's her face? Whatever.
Carol.
Yeah, Daryl and
Daryl
Carol. Daryl and Carol on an adventure. That's the other that's the main show now. Like that's what the main show turned into. So, but it does sound interesting. I'll give it that. Like that's an unlikely pair.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. Walking Dead, even for me, it's kind of like might be time to just let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. There might just bury it. So we're still on TV show stuff here. I have a long list of Pat's flash facts because he hasn't caught us up in a while.
Okay, I look forward to this.
Okay. I don't know. I might have to skim through some of this because there's quite a few paragraphs, but Pat, we love you and we thank you for your flash facts because, as you all know, The Flash has ended with the Super Friends episode, and this is just a hypothesis if it was to keep going.
Yeah, this is Pat continuing to write it as if it didn't end at Crisis.
Yep. And here we go. End of last arc, Barry saves the world from Armageddon with the help from his two kids from the future. Barry and Iris have a vow renewal for the two kids to attend, and after the ceremony, they go back to the future. Great Scott. That's from Pat. That's not for me. That's his favorite movie trilogy, by the way. Kids arriving home in 2049. There's a knock at the door. It's Jay Garrick, who's supposed to be dead. Jay also mentions being married, but not to Joan, which we all know Joan is his usual wife in the comic books. Kids realize that since they went back in time, they screwed up the timeline. This is not a shock. This is like ingrained in the Flash genes to fuck up the timeline.
Just stop doing it.
Yeah. They can't. So they decide that the only way to fix things is go back in time again. So they trace the timeline back, looking for anomalies. Sidebar, Booster Gold made his debut in the finale of Legends of Tomorrow. Hell yeah. I did see that. I watched the clip on YouTube. Donald Faison. And I heard Zach Braff wants to play Blue Beetle.
Yes. If JT and Turk play Blue and Gold, I'm back in.
Let's go. So that in itself might even make me watch Legends of Tomorrow again. While the kids are looking for anomalies, they see reference to Booster. No idea who he is. They think they might be setting him up for a villain next season. Anyways, they trace the anomalies of 2013 to stop Joe from getting shot. It's a huge throwback. They show the first time Joe tried to ask out Cecile, and the first meeting of Iris and Eddie Thawne. Barry's still in a coma after getting struck by lightning. So this is like old school episode 1 shit. While they're in 2013, they mess up the timeline more. And the Royal Flush Gang forms earlier than in the normal timeline. So they stop the Royal Flush Gang from blowing up a casino. Okay. They also introduce Avery Ho as a love interest for Bart. Avery is another speedster who's known as the Flash of China. Oh, that's actually awesome.
Interesting.
They brought in Avery. Okay. But at this point, she doesn't have powers. Isn't Avery, is that the one that's in Justice League Incarnate?
Yep.
Damn. Okay. Wow, that gets me a little excited. Kids go back to 2049, and Jay is alive, but still alive, married to Joan. They tell Jay he's supposed to be dead. He says he's happy to be alive and thanks the kids. No, I don't think I will be dead, thank you. Jay says that's just part of being the Flash, that they messed up and that they mess up the timeline now and again. Okay, Jay, thanks. Jay also references that at one point he went back in time and fought Nazis. Great. The episode ends with Jay saying he needs to go meet with President Luthor, but he is just joking and trying to get the kids to think they messed up the timeline even more. Wow. Okay.
If Chris was Flash, what would he do?
Yeah. So that was actually pretty interesting. I think those flash facts are a lot better than the last flash facts. I think Pat has gotten really good at his overall story plots and his little Easter eggs he puts in there. DC, if you need someone to hire, look him up. I do like the Avery Ho thing.
Yeah.
Now I understand. Now I kind of see why they've had a spotlight on her.
It's fine, but she runs really fast.
Right.
I'll trash on Flash later in the show, everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
For now,
Okay.
good job on you, Pat.
Yep. Movie time. Warner Bros. Announced this week big changes to their DC timeline, also known as "How can we fuck these movies up?" Black Adam, Black Adam and Super Pets are moving to later this year, while The Flash and Aquaman 2 have been moved to 2023. Only good news now is Shazam 2 is now slated for Christmas 2022 instead of early 2023. Also, Black Adam's going back for reshoots, so I think that's really what messed everything up. It happens, I guess.
Yeah, and the Flash. Okay, so I stick by my. I don't like the Flash is never coming out.
Yeah,
but yeah, the movie I was most excited for in that group, Black Adam.
mm-hmm.
I mean, well, Super Pets is the one I'm most excited for. But
Yeah, let's be honest.
The live action Black Adam
Mm-hmm.
is moved out. That sucks. And that also tells me that Shazam 2 has no connection to Black Adam, which also kind of sucks. I could be wrong there, but I get that feeling now if they're willing to flip them so easily.
I think, if I remember the original explanation or talks, Shazam 3 would be the Black Adam fight. But I don't know. Who the hell knows at this point?
We'll see. I'm excited for Shazam. I've gone on my joke about the Flash, even though it's not really a joke, but it only succeeds in one way.
Yep.
Aquaman 2, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I just want Super Pets in my life right now.
Yeah. All I've seen about Aquaman 2 is James Wan's very thankful and happy that he gets more time to edit the film. That's what he said.
Hopefully he tries to just tell one story instead of 8.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not his fault.
Yeah.
That's DC's fault, but still.
Also, interesting thing to note, Aquaman 2 is Amber Heard's last movie that she is slated for. According to her IMDb page, she has no other jobs coming up after Aquaman 2.
I'm shocked she wasn't kicked out of this movie, but...
Yeah, come on, DC. Which maybe they're going to kill her off. I don't know. They'll just erase her in the Flash movie.
It sucks because I like Mara as a character, so just not see Mara would suck, but...
Yeah.
She's recastable. Like,
I know, yeah. Yeah, for sure. She had some good parts in the first movie, too.
Yeah.
Okay. The cast for the upcoming Beetle movie has been expanded. Blue Beetle, that is. George Lopez. I didn't even know he still acted, to be honest.
I didn't know he was still alive.
Yeah. Sorry, George. We'll be playing Uncle Randy. Adriana Barraza is playing Nana. Alapidia Carrillo is playing Rocchio, and Damien Alcazar is playing Alberto. So I'm guessing these are all his family members. I haven't read that version of Blue Beetle, so
yeah, I was hoping you knew.
No, I don't.
So
sorry.
We joke about George Lopez, but he was on Real Husbands of Hollywood for like a 2-episode arc with Kevin Hart, and he was awesome in that.
Really?
But that was like 5-6 years ago, and that's the last I've seen him.
Yeah, he's got so much money, he doesn't need to make appearances.
Yeah, the George Lopez show.
Yeah, right.
That's what you all know him from, right?
Yeah, that's all he needs. his hilarious stand-up. Yeah, I mean, this is cool. Glad they're keeping the ethnicity where it should be. Good on DC for doing that. And I guess we'll just we'll see. Give me a trailer or something. All right. Then we'll talk.
I doubt they shot a single frame of this.
No, they haven't. They got him in a blue foam suit, and that was as far as they went, probably. Yeah. Okay, so let's jump over to this interview we have with Mr. Tom Pear, editor-in-chief at Ahoy Comics, and we will see everybody on the other side.
And we're back.
We are back. So, if you need help finding Ahoy Comics, tweet at one of us. We'll show you. We had Tom on a few years ago to chat about Dragonfly Man and Dragonfly, Ahoy's grown their brand into something that's interested me for a little bit here.
Put out some good books. Probably one of our favorite indie publishers right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'd say that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into the comic book news.
Yay, comics.
I've been seeing this guy's name in every friggin' article that gets pumped out on the internet. The Batman director, Matt Reeves. You could just people must have when they're writing these articles, they have that first headline the Batman director, Matt Reeves, and then they delete whatever they wrote last week and then add more shit this week. Took to his Twitter this week to announce a spin-off comic based on the hit movie, The Batman. The comic is called Riddle, Riddler Year One, and is being written by Paul Dano. This this shit's crazy. So Paul Dano is writing a comic, and it's called Riddler Year One. I mean, I'll check it out.
So, if you would have told me there's going to be a prequel book to the Batman about Riddler, I'd be like, cool. I ain't reading that shit.
Yeah, same.
As soon as you said written by Paul Dano, I was like, I gotta check it out.
Yeah, because I just want to know what this guy is, what goes on in his head.
It's so cool too. Obviously, Paul Dano has been inside the mind of the Riddler because he had to play that character.
Right.
So it's cool to give him a chance to do this on the side with it, and hopefully it's successful and it's good. And that tells DC to try to do more of this. I doubt you're gonna get The Rock to write a Black Adam book, but
please God no. It's just every. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the guy who played Polka Dot Man, he's written comics and he has a new one coming out next week. Everybody, and maybe give him a shot at Polka Dot Man, Black Label series. You can do cool stuff like that along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Get James Gunn to write Suicide Squad. These kinds of things.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I see. I understand what you're saying here, and I think we need more of that.
No.
I think that gives an interesting twist because does anybody really care about Riddler Year One? Not so much. Didn't we get Riddler in 0 Year or Batman?
He's always seems to be at the origin of Batman recently.
Yeah.
Even before this movie was a thing.
Yep. And as much as people don't want to admit it, the Batman movie takes a lot from 0 Year. Yes, I said it. It is the most, I won't say hated. I will say the least liked of the Scott Snyder Batman story arcs. But yes, there was some good, realistic stuff they pulled from there. So,
as somebody who enjoyed pretty much everything in that run from Snyder, what I hear most of the time is that's where I fell off was 0 Year.
Yeah. It's okay. You're not a true Snyder fan. It's fine.
Like I said, I enjoyed it. I even enjoyed Jim Gordon fucking Batman. So take that.
Yeah, take that. Robot Batman. So this is pretty cool. Hopefully that means Paul Dano is a comic book writer. I doubt we'll be getting him on Fortune's Comic News anytime soon. Doesn't mean I can't send him a DM and see what's up. And I'm going to be like, I heard are you the comic book writer known as Paul Dano? Because we'd love to have you on our comic book podcast. Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't know how to handle interviewing him. I'd probably be slightly terrified.
I don't know. It's been so how do I put this lightly? There was a possible opportunity for me to do an interview with somebody else involving Kevin Smith. That fell apart, so it's not happening. But I agreed to it because I'm like, yeah, of course I want to do it. And then I thought about it, I was like, how do I talk? I can't talk to Kevin Smith. I based my entire life on that man. I can't. No, this isn't. But
it'll be fine.
Get in the room, we find a way.
Yep. I did see him put Comic Book Getty on the spot with a Twitter interview.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. Anyways, DC has announced a new Black Adam comic. Shocking. Coming this summer from writer Christopher Priest and artist Rafa Sandoval. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
2 Marvel creators. Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, true. What was Christopher Priest doing at Marvel?
He's done a lot of things. He's best known for best known for Black Panther. Okay. He was the first guy to do Black Panther really good.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see this character.
He did a really bad U.S. Agent book. I'm sorry, Christopher, but you did. And he's done a bunch of good stuff, though.
Okay.
He's a great writer.
Yeah. I think Black Adam is a good enough character. It's crazy to me we don't get a Shazam comic.
Yeah. The hell do you see? I would buy the hell out of it.
Yeah, because that Mary Marvel one's been pushed out again, I think, with Doc Shaner doing the art.
Yeah, end of summer, I think it is.
Yeah, so they're like, no, you don't need Shazam yet. You need Black Adam. Okay.
One has a movie, and the other one... Oh, wait, the other one has a movie, too.
Yeah, they both have movies. Marvel is bringing back the creative team, Al Ewing and Javier Rodriguez, for a sequel to their Defenders series. The 5-issue series is called Defenders Beyond. Wait a second.
Terry McGinnis shows up. It's weird.
Yeah, shit gets weird. New cast of heroes fighting the Beyonder. The new cast is Doctor Strange from Beyond the Grave, literally. Blue Marvel, America Chavez, Taya, Galactus' mother, Tigra, and Loki variant based on Ewing's series, Loki, Agent of Asgard. Very, very ragtag bundle of guests here.
Beyonder's quite the powerful character to be.
Yeah.
Like, Beyonder's basically responsible for the original Secret Wars. Like, okay. Bold move, Cotton. But I really like that first Defenders book that they did, so I'm 100% in. It was really great.
So Galactus has a mother. Well, so that's interesting.
Yeah, from the previous galaxy that he was born into, but was destroyed, which made him into Galactus.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Jessica,
I can't talk about normal shit, but I can tell you about Galactus' mother.
Yeah, that's the important shit. That's important. Jessica Jones is back for a new limited series. The series will be called The Variants and is written by Gail Simone and art by Phil Noto. The series will have Jones come face to face with different variants of herself and have her question decisions she made in life. I'm glad because like saying that Gail Simone was writing it did not have me have any inclination that she would have any internal monologue throughout the entire issue at all, or internal narration. So I'm glad they cleared that up for me. I mean, good for Gail Simone. Jessica Jones, fairly popular character. I think that's a cool concept.
Yeah, it's a cool concept. But I mean, in my opinion, this was Gail came to them and said, "I want to do this with Jessica."
Yep.
And then they're like, "We'll call it the Variants because that's the hot thing in Marvel right now."
Mm-hmm.
But if I was going to make the Variants, it wouldn't be Jessica Jones. It wouldn't be just one character. I would be like, let's blow it up. Let's do all these variants.
Mm-hmm.
But someone will like it. There's a Jessica Jones fan out there that's happy.
Yep. And there's Chip Zdarsky fans that are happy. Like Chris. Zdarsky just announced via Substack that his Substack exclusive comic is coming to a print at Image Comics. The series is called Public Domain. Is the first comic he himself has drawn since Sex Criminals. The series follows a legendary comic creator who makes pop culture's greatest superhero, the Domain. As he grows old, his kids try to convince him to fight for their family's legacy and take control of the Domain away from a billion-dollar corporation.
The man who's writing Batman and Daredevil is saying, "Fuck you" to Disney and Warner Brothers.
Interesting. Do not bite the hand that feeds you, is what I've always been told.
But if you're Chip Zdarsky, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in this. Especially, I was like, the concept's cool. Mm-hmm. It's been done, but it's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I started reading, I'm like, wait, Chip's drawing again? Son of a bitch, you got me.
I'm in. Son of a bitch, I'm in. Yeah, that's cool. Good for him. Image Comics is like, we can make money off this. Pick it up.
Not a lot of people on that Substack yet. There's still people that want it.
Yep. All right. Let's talk about some comics that we read.
Yes.
I have a physical comic here. It doesn't happen very often.
Oh.
This is World's Finest. This is one of the fantastic variants. I just tweeted about it before we started recording. This book has drummed up a lot of money and variant covers because of the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee variant that goes for way too much money on eBay. Also,
which
the
is currently
memes.
in the mail to my house, everybody.
Oh, you got one. Okay.
At sticker price.
Where did you manage that?
Things from Another Planet or whatever it's called.
Oh, okay.
I just
Awesome.
went in there day one. I'm like, bye.
Yep. I got this amazing Doc Shaner cover because, and I tweeted about this. I said, like, all these other variants that got super hype, there's something to be said about just a good old wholesome high five between best buds drawn by Doc Shaner. So, former guest of the show, huge fan of his. I usually pick up every variant that he does. So, I got to talk about the issue because I read it.
Yeah, let's talk about the issue.
You read it as well, right?
I did indeed.
I mean, this is Mark Waid and Mora on the art.
Can I just real quick? There's a moment in this book where I'm just like, Mark Waid. There was a chance. There's an alternate universe somewhere where Mark Waid brings in Codpiece.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I love the So the interactions between Batman and Superman are great. The whole we've been good friends and like how they started being friends. I think there's a good mix of Batman and Superman villains between the Penguin and Metallo. I think making Metallo look like Two-Face was kind of cool.
Especially after the joke.
Yeah.
Let's not flip a coin.
Yeah. No coin flipping, please. Coin flipping bad. The Metallo injects Superman with red kryptonite, so he starts morphing and his powers start going out of control, so they need to contain him. So a lot of that is the fight between them, Batman and Robin and Superman, and then something crazy happens, and I was not expecting it with this book, and I was like, holy shit, I'm in for the rest of it. Mark Waid. There's a typical doctor that deals with weird anomalies and things like that. And his name is Niles Calder. He's the head of the Doom Patrol. So we get 3 Doom Patrol. We get Elastowoman, we get Cliff Steele, Robot Man, and we get Larry Traynor, the Negative Man. So they show up to try to contain Superman and then get him to Niles Calder to figure out what's going on. Hell yeah. Doom Patrol in a main book? That's pretty awesome.
I really like the issue altogether. I like that it's early Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dick Grayson's Robin in this.
Yep.
So that's one way you tell. And nobody knows that Clark is Superman, so he's free of continuity bullshit. You can just tell a fun story.
Yep.
But really, really good issue. I was pleasantly surprised by it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always go in with a bar when you say Mark Waid. Yeah. And it's a lot of times he doesn't reach that bar nowadays. He surpassed it this time.
Yep. Fantastic issue. I'm in. I mean, I was in either way, but so that started off strong. I had Blue and Gold number 7 this week. Man, I had a conversation with some folks in the comic shop this week about this. I was really hyped for this book. It had such a good first couple issues. I feel like we're falling kind of short here. There's only one issue left. This is issue 7 of 8, and they introduced this whole new, they kind of just shoehorn the new Blue Beetle in here, and some villain is behind. He's trying to infiltrate the group of Booster and Blue Beetle. It's just, I don't know. The story's not really holding up, and it's kind of just they fell short of the main story they wanted to do. Also, the art is split between 2 artists, which kind of tells me they just stopped caring about this book.
I guess from what I read, the artist got behind.
Yeah,
that's the reason that if you remember when the first 2 issues there was a huge gap.
Yeah,
that's because right away the artist got behind.
And the story is. They could have just gone with the story, the B plot of Booster and Blue Beetle starting a business to make money to be heroes, and that would have been a lot better than where they went with this book, because they're trying to hold too much weight with it, and now they clearly are shoehorning the other Blue Beetle into it, and it's not even a buddy cop thing going on anymore. It's just weird. So very disappointed. I'll always pick up a book with Blue Beetle. Everybody knows that. one of my favorite heroes. Just a quick little thing. I started reading Curse Words Volume 1 because of Chris. This book is wild and crazy, and I love it.
Such a good book.
A Kickstarter that I helped, I donated to, Cosmic Detective. I read that book. That was a lot of fun. That was Matt Kint and I think Jeff Lemire.
Jeff Lemire, yeah. I'm waiting for my print one to come in.
Yeah, so I have the print, but I read it's a long story, very cool sci-fi detective book, pretty awesome. Batman the Knight, issue 3. This is the Zdarsky book. Pretty cool stuff going on here. So the thief that Bruce Wayne's been training with in France, they happen to have stolen from the serial killer that's going around France and killing people. Because they steal these gold teeth that he keeps as like souvenirs. So by the end of the book, Bruce finds out. Who's the guy that Alfred sent after him?
Random Bounty Hunter number 1.
No, he's a recurring character. I just can't think of his name right now.
Oh, is he? I didn't recognize him.
He was in the Batman Incorporated stuff too. But anyway, so he gets shot because Bruce Wayne is inexperienced. They're trying to like catch where the serial killer is, and the whole like cover thing gets blown. He gets shot. So now it's just Bruce going after the serial killer. He's too late. He kills the person that they're trying to save, and in doing so, he starts beating the shit out of the serial killer and kind of like holds back, and realizes that it's time for him to leave Paris. He talks to Alfred, leaves him a message saying like, "I love you, Alfred. I'm not staying. It's not forever." And then like the end of the issue is Alfred like listening to the message over and over again, which is really sad.
Yeah, that hit me right here.
Yep, that was really good. Han Solo and Chewbacca number 1. This book was fucking awesome.
I forgot I had that.
Oh, you didn't read it?
No, I forgot about it.
Okay, this is some weird anomalies happened where I read a Star Wars book that Chris hasn't. I read this because it seemed like a pretty easy investment. I don't need to know a lot about Star Wars to know about Han Solo and Chewbacca. Mark Guggenheim writing. David Messina art is fantastic. Basically, this is the story of the job that Han and Greedo go on before Greedo meets up with him at Cantina and shoots at him. So, really cool stuff.
Oh, Han shoots him.
Han shoots. Han shoots him. Sorry.
Fuck Lucas. Han shot first.
Han shot. And that was what I had this week. And then last week, I read some stuff. I read Moth Hill number 1. This is a Kickstarter. Joseph Oliveira. I might have talked about this book already. Red Supermassive. Radiant Red number 1. That was the other half of Radiant Black. Really liked that. That's pretty much all I had this week.
I'll zoom through last week. JLA Legion number 2, really good. More Gold Lantern stuff.
Yep, that was good.
Love that issue. I'll save that for last. King of Spies number 4, Millar Stuck the Landing. I think this is a really good series. It does get a little like revenge porny in the middle, but I still really, really liked it. I highly recommend this. Is probably my favorite thing Millar's done since Secret Service. But to be fair, I don't read all of his stuff. Little Monsters number 1, new Jeff Lemire book about little kids who are vampires. They basically are alone in the city, and they're slowly wasting time waiting for somebody to come back for them. And at the end of the issue, they discover that they're not the only ones in the city. They discover a human. Cool story, really great art. The coloring in it, it's mostly black and white, but they use red for effect.
Okay.
And there's a few other like moments where color pops in. So I really like that book.
Cool.
Superior 4 number 3 was the final issue of that. Really fun multiverse story. Long story short, Doc Ock defeats the other Doc Ock by finding a third Doc Ock that is also a Man-Thing, connects to him, and fights the other Doc Ock that is both the Sorcerer Supreme and Doctor Doom, and saves the multiverse. Super fun, awesome book.
Amazing.
Punisher #1. Punisher kills a bunch of people with a different skull in his chest. The end.
Yep.
Flash 780. This is a tie-in with... This is this week now. That was a tie-in with War for Earth 3.
Yeah, I forgot. I got to pick that one up tonight. I forgot it was the tie-in.
So I got vibes of that. Remember that Dark Knight's Death Metal book where it was the Flash and they went from one side of the place to the other side, and that was the end of the book?
Yeah.
That's basically what happened here. So we find out why Johnny Quick is back, how he's back. You're going to be shocked at where he was the whole time.
Okay.
We get a moment with Wally West, and I just remember why I don't like the Flash. Mirror Master tries to pretend to be the Spot by throwing a bunch of little mirrors out and sending Flash into like different dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
And then Johnny ends up stealing the cosmic treadmill for Amanda Waller. The end.
Awesome. Now I don't need to read it.
You really don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Flash. We talked about it before the show. The best part of the Flash is the Rogues, and it only had one of them in it. Thor number 23. This was the end of the Hammer story. Thor wins everybody.
Nice.
And then he takes the Odin sleep because he uses too much of the Odin power, so he needs to take an Odin rest. At the end of the day, he ends up destroying Mjolnir, but then Angela finds all the pieces and reassembles it without the enchantment in it. So now he's got like this weird put-together hammer that doesn't have a super enchantment in it. So it was a cool ending to the story. I don't understand the whole hammer thing, like how that's going to work. And then probably the big book of the week was Devil's Reign number 5. So Wilson Fisk knows that Matt Murdock's Daredevil now after the last issue. And this issue is basically the Thunderbolts find the Purple Kids and they try to get them, and then the Champions fight them and they win. And then we find out that Matt Murdock's imaginary brother, who is now real, is trying to get back in with the new Kingpin of crime and fails. There's a whole thing about his relationship with his best friend dying and all that. And then Wilson Fisk turns on Doc Ock in the Superior Four. There's a big fight scene, and the Purple Man is released from his cage to take over all of New York to fight against the Avengers.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And it then ends with a scene that's pretty gruesome because Matt Murdock's imaginary brother, who is now real, goes back to Matt's home because he's been impersonating Matt Murdock.
Mm-hmm.
That was from when Daredevil was in jail. And Wilson finds him in his house. He can't tell the difference between them because they're identical. And he beats him to death.
Oh.
And that's how the book ends.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Really happy-go-lucky stuff.
Yeah, very, very positive vibes.
Mike, that's all I had. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you and or the show?
Well, they can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter and at Fortress Comics _ for the show on Twitter. Also, FortressComicNews.com. Remember, everybody, to give us the 5-star review whenever podcatcher you use. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below on YouTube. And if you want to go the extra mile, we got the affiliate links in the show notes down below. And the Patreon at patreon.com/FortressComics. Also, all the links for our interview were also in the show notes, so make sure to go support Ahoy Comics. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you all here next week.